Welcome to the Midnight Manuscripts. I'm C.A. Baynam, and today I have a wonderful story for you. What happens to cheaters when Satan gets his hands on them? So let's start the story. It's called The Flash On by Hayden Corwin. The air was no good. Humid wafts of rotten death fell from the swamp cooler fence that lined the hall. Tarnished nickel showed through the worn, gold-plated walls where the portraits hung. Apollo's tie pushed the skin of his neck up and over the edge of his short-sleeved white collared shirt as he adjusted it tighter. He checked his watch. A digital midnight fluttered on the screen, and the bells began to ring loud. A red velvet curtain at the end of the hall pulled open, and a pop of sparks and smokes shot out from the middle. A stout man dressed in a cloth devil costume was caught in his cape and tumbled forward. He coughed and pulled himself up with a plastic pitchfork in his hands. "Bazaar!" the man shouted. He sprung up and sprinted towards Apollo, who stood sweating in the heat of the room, expressionless. It took several moments for the man to cross the hall. Apollo checked his watch again. "Where the hell am I?" Apollo said. The man stopped out of breath before Apollo. "You're in hell," the man said, "and I am Satan." "I'm Christian," Apollo said. "We love you guys," Satan said. "Before we get you all set up, I'd like to show you my brand new art exhibition." Satan pointed at the portraits on the wall with a pitchfork. "Sure," Apollo said. "You seem nuts, but if it gets me out of here, I'm not crazy," Satan said. Satan's eyes squinted and his brow furrowed. His head tilted. "Are you a Thed?" Satan said. The lights in the hallway dimmed and the picture lights above the portraits lit up. Satan walked and turned to the first picture. A plaque was screwed into the wall. "Behold," Satan said. "The devil is mysterious and works in the shadows, but provided a little light, he can hide no longer. You are witnessing the debut of my personal photography collection. I like to call it Devil with the Flash On." Apollo examined the first portrait. "This is just a guy in a golf polio," Apollo said. His eyes are closed because he wasn't expecting the flash. Satan turned Apollo's face with his pitchfork. "Look again," Satan said. Apollo's cheek squished against the pitchfork as he turned to look at the picture again. "He's got horns now," Apollo said. "Ah." His eyebrows lifted, his beady eyes sparkled. A grin grew across his face as he nodded his head. "All right," Apollo said. "Next, please." The two looked up at the second portrait, an oiled, shirtless man with permed hair, holding the long blonde hair of the severed head. Apollo closed his eyes and looked again. The man now had horns. "Okay," Apollo said. "No surprising you. Look, my wife is waiting for me. Can we keep it moving?" "So, now Amy is suddenly the most important thing to you. How do you..." Satan threw a bang snap at Apollo's seat. Apollo didn't move. "You must be fun at parties," Satan said. "All right, I'll give you the abbreviated guided tour." Satan led Apollo. Each portrait they passed appeared similar to the first two. Men with closed or red eyes from a flash going off. Some caught in a crime and others seemingly mundane. "I usually use the 35mm, Satan said, "but I'm thinking of going digital. I've heard they have cameras so small that you can just tie them to your wrist. That would be nice, I imagine." "I brought one for my wife," Apollo said. "She uses it all the time." "Gifts are good apologies," Satan said. Apollo grabbed Satan's cape and pulled him backwards. The knot at the front gagged at Satan's throat. "What's your deal?" Apollo said. He clenched his fist, and it was inches from Satan's chin. "I didn't bring you here to make deals," Satan said. "Those are for well-meaning souls out of options." Apollo reared his fist back, and Satan vanished and reappeared down the hall at the last portrait frame. Apollo backed away, but Satan poofed and appeared behind him. "I told you everything there is to know about me," Satan whispered. Satan put his hand on Apollo's shoulder, and the two appeared at the end of the hall. Satan pushed Apollo, who stumbled and caught himself on the wall. "What?" Apollo shouted. "Look," Satan said. "Look at the empty frame." Apollo looked up at the empty frame. "Now, I present the climax of my show." Satan raised his arms and began to shake. Snakes slithered across the floor, bats flew from his cape, and a flash went off. Apollo looked dead at Satan, his eyes red in the camera that floated before him. Apollo collapsed below the frame. He loosened his tie and blood began seeping from his neck. He felt the sting of raw flesh where rope marks grew. Another flash went off. Satan giggled behind the camera. Flames rose around him. A pimp in a mesmerizing blue fur coat with a cowboy hat materialized. He was tugging a rope around Apollo's neck, and he dug Apollo across the floor towards the red velvet curtain. A third flash went off. Blood poured from Apollo's eye sockets as his eyes escaped his skull. The flash went off again, but this time the pimp snuck a smile into the scene. "That one's not usable," Satan said. The pimp frowned. Satan giggled a little more as he picked up a snake to pet it. "You could say, cheaters never prosper." The pimp rolled his eyes at Satan. "I'll see you real soon." Apollo's body followed the pimp behind the curtain. Satan took a bow and went up in smoke as the curtain closed. So there you have it. Cheaters never prosper in this life or the afterlife. You've been listening to C.A. Baynam on the Midnight Manuscripts. If you like what you've heard, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We have so much more to come.